Good afternoon. It's going to be a sexy day for you today. Why? Because my God, I wonder how many people, some people say I love listening to this, like love listening to it. It gives me great joy, passion, and pleasure to listen to this.
Well, I think also we get to talk about sex a lot. Not only with like Romeo and the men on our team, but also, for this, but not everyone gets to have these kind of conversations. I feel sorry for them.
Most people don't have these conversations, we have a draft to do. We got a lot to do, Natalie. So we put up a new anonymous link, and it's called NGL.
Stands for
Not Gonna Lie. And this is really anonymous. Like, you can tell us that you, have
killed
sex.
someone.
Okay.
Well, we could never track it.
I would never want to know that.
I don't want to know, but I'm saying that they're so anonymous, we can't see where they're coming from. That's what this app is about.
Sometimes I look at you, I'm like, is there something I don't know? I'm sure.
I'm always hoping to bring something new out.
Something you wouldn't ever repeat, even to out loud to yourself in a whisper in a bathroom, in a mountain, in a field. I feel like everyone's got one of those things that they just would rather forget.
I'll try to think of it.
I actually do forget. Like, don't want to forget. I actually do forget. That's the problem. So these are your NGL confessions, which have to do with anything and everything that you don't want anyone else to hear or read. It's your innermost, deeper thoughts. I even said, it was one post that was like, that you're best, only you want to tell your bestie. Mm-hmm. Like something you're like, to the grave. Like you want to tell your bestie, but maybe you can't even do that. So you're going to start here. Because, if you say it once, the second time's easier. It's like if you have a text message with your best friend, this is what this NGL is like. Mm-hmm. If you die, your best friend is instructed to go open your phone and delete every single message in there from you. Yes. And photo. If you have some sort of a WhatsApp, or you're communicating with an old anything on Facebook. Oh, your friend... you're dead though. Oh, because you don't want to hurt the people you leave behind. Fair. Yeah. Okay. Is that my instructions? Joking. Yeah, everything. Okay, I would just, oh my God, I dropped her phone in the toilet.
Oh my gosh, that's actually perfect.
But that would be sad, because then they wouldn't have everything left, it would be, Pandora's box would be a good time. Confessions. This is submitted by, I have no idea. Does it always have to be the same thing every single time? It's like sex is a routine. Starts with a blowjob, and then I hop on top, and then it's over. Like, what happened to spontaneous positions and locations? I love that for you, and I love that you are possibly looking at spontaneous locations and positions.
Well, also, I can't believe he gets a blowjob every time. It doesn't, and you don't get the cunnilingus.
Oh,
you want to switch it up, right? But the one positive, it doesn't sound like it takes that long.
Oh my God, she should give the blowjob backwards, ass in the face. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then she could position it up. Because if she's giving a blowjob, I'm assuming she's lying on his stomach or something.
Yeah.
So she should
flip it around, stick your vag in his face, and say, "Get to it, honey, sweetie pie."
Yeah, you could just jump on his face. Mm-hmm. Just something to think about. This is advice from your mom's cat, Nat. Oh God, if our children listen to this podcast, holy shit.
And then, you could say to him, I'd love to do it in a random place sometime. I think you'd like that.
God bless y'all. God bless y'all. Partway through doing the deed, I noticed the condom wasn't on anymore. Mm-hmm. I knew he was small, but didn't realize how tiny until this moment.
Oh, no.
Then we looked everywhere for it and couldn't find it. Well, I found it 12 hours later when it came out of me when I went to the bathroom, because it did not fit him properly. He got the wrong size. These are the things I think about.
We're going to talk to our kids about.
Yep.
We're going to have to
she could have gotten, no, the girls too, because guys because I don't know if this is the size on the condom, when you pull it out, actually written on.
Oh God, I hope not.
Think
it
about that.
Should only be on the box.
Even that's mortifying.
Yeah.
If you're rolling into the shop. I don't know why it's mortifying, tiny dicks.
Do you guys have an extra small?
Well, he probably didn't want to buy an extra small, so he got a too big one, and then it got lost in him.
I feel like they're a regular size unless you need bigger. I don't know if over the counter.
You don't think there's micro condoms?
I think I have to order those online, custom. I think. I don't know, but I've never actually I've never bought a box of condoms. Have you, Bob?
Have you? I've never bought a box of condoms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. So, yeah, we wouldn't know what a box of condoms would look like.
No.
But I can see them
Yeah,
in the store.
Yeah, me too.
And are they
I've
like
seen people buy them.
And then I think of tampons, and I'm like, large, extra large, small, light. They should do that. They should change it from small, medium to like light, regular, heavy,
yeah,
and then super heavy.
Yeah.
That'd be better for them. I think we should talk to the marketers about that.
Well, I kind of like the way OB does it. Super plus, ultra.
Okay, well, let's get some names on there that aren't small, medium, large.
condoms.
Yeah.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like let's get this, let's do this so that it's...
I mean, not that I know how they're marketed now, but I'm just assuming that they're
they're not marketed to us for some reason, because otherwise I bet a youngin could tell us exactly how they're marketed. I remember Magnums. I remember the Magnums came out, and I feel like they only sold Magnums. Like there was no small, medium, large. Magnum was just gold and huge. If they pulled out a Magnum, you're like, oh fuck, it's going down.
I remember at the health clinic where we used to get the birth control pill, there was just bowls of condoms everywhere.
Yeah, but is it the right size? This is the thing we have to tell our girls about. You know, make sure it fits snugly, because otherwise.
I never thought of it. I've never seen like a loose condom.
Well, it happens.
Apparently. I mean, a condom did fall off inside of me, but he had a big dick. I don't know why it fell off.
Maybe it was too small. You know what I mean?
He kind of seemed like a pro. I think he knew his size. I don't know how it happened.
Sorry, what makes a pro? Just out of curiosity.
A person who seems like they've done it a lot.
Like what? Like how do you know? The confidence.
Yeah.
Tell me what
Yes.
Tell me what an expert looks like.
The confidence of just he was like good at it.
He was good.
Yeah.
And so you knew he had done it a lot.
Yeah.
Do you think some people are just good right out the gate? Or do you think everyone's a little rocky at number one?
I think everyone's rocky at first.
You think?
Yeah.
Like everybody.
Yeah.
Like even Channing Tatum, you think he was like a little bit like not good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, have you ever slept with a virgin?
Oh, great.
Or you don't know?
Question, Natalie. I could have, but maybe they never told me.
You think that you've slept with a virgin?
No,
I don't
probably
see you
not.
with a virgin.
Have you slept with a virgin?
Yeah, I did.
Oh. No, I've never slept with a virgin.
Yeah, I did.
You know we have to have on this podcast? On the Friday podcast?
Yeah.
Will.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And I'd love to ask him some questions about,
I'd also
like-
love to have that other girl to be anonymously on here, of the girl who's like our age and a virgin. I'd love to ask questions.
Oh.
I wonder if she'd come on our podcast. We don't have to name her.
So she's just going to be behind.
I want to know how you got there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we could ask her.
Yeah.
I mean.
And she seems very open.
And
I
why
was
she's
looking
not?
Why she's not what?
Like.
Because I asked her if it was religious.
And she said no.
No.
Like, what is, like, at what...
Like, how do we make our daughters like you?
No, I would think that, I wonder if she masturbates. Can we ask that? That might be rude. Because...
I don't think it's rude.
I feel like if you do, then...
You don't need a partner.
Then you're not a virgin. Kind of.
No.
If she sticks a dildo up there, you are not a virgin. What's the difference?
Well, I just can't wait to break the news to her that she's not a virgin after all these years.
We might take the pressure away from her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I told you I watched this clip of this woman who was 50 and she was a virgin. She's like, no real reason, just hasn't happened. Like, I want to know more.
I also wonder, Colton Underwood, he said he was a virgin, but was he a virgin? Was it semantics? And he was like, because if you are gay and you sleep with a man, are you a virgin? If you never sleep with a woman?
No, you are not a virgin.
Well, my point is,
was he lying?
Well, was the whole no?
I kind of believe that he never slept with a man. Never slept with a person.
I think he did though.
I know you think he did,
but he said he went to bathhouses before he. Yeah.
I did not see that.
Yes, he did. He talked about that. Yes, there was a.
I don't not believe you. I just never heard that. So I'm not going to say that's a fact from my mouth because I never heard that.
Hold on. I have to Google this right now. And I was thinking for someone who claimed to be.
But even if you go to a bathhouse, it doesn't mean you had sex. You went to bathhouses? I watched his doc, but I did miss that part.
I think you fell asleep. It was in Vancouver. Before I'm gonna find this out for you guys because he's a friend of ours.
I actually remember all the good parts, and I was like, I think our kids should watch this documentary.
He's a friend of ours. Okay, I was the virgin bachelor, but I did experiment with men prior to being on The Bachelorette. He confirms he was in fact a virgin. But he
So he was a virgin.
he
didn't
hooked
have
up.
sex.
He hooked up with men.
Yeah, but,
We don't know what he did with men.
yeah, but if he had sex, he knows what sex is.
So it's an asshole or a vagina, because really
Yes.
virginity is a vagina. That's why it's the whole thing about popping the cherry and losing the thing, and that's why people are currently in high school having sex, anal sex, and not virginal sex.
Well, they're just idiots. But I don't think, like, I did not think that having, like, sex is sex.
I don't think everybody thinks that. I think a lot of people think it's the hole, the vagina hole.
It's new to me.
Hold on, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back because I have one more thing to say about it. Yeah, someone I was walking with recently in who knows the high school population well, says a lot of them are still thinking that they're virgins when they have anal sex.
I know. I remember that from high school too. But
So they're thinking they're virgins.
Mhm.
So we're claiming the vagina hole is only the hole that makes you a virgin, which is crazy.
Well, they are. I don't think I ever thought about that. I always thought if they had anal sex that they had lost their virginity.
Which could be a blowjob to me, in my opinion. And what I'm saying is, why is one hole, every intimate hole is a hole to lose your virginity?
Well, I think that to me, oral sex is oral sex, and this sex is that. Like, that's the way I've always thought about it.
Penetration is
in a hole.
In any hole,
To me.
not but your mouth hole.
No, because that's oral sex. That's like foreplay.
What about anal sex?
I think that's sex.
Interesting. Well, a lot of people don't, and that's the interesting thing because we're tying virginity to vaginas.
So I don't know if Colton's saying if he experimented with guys, but experimenting having sex could be two different things.
Right, semantics is what I'm saying.
Mm.
But a lot of people, majority, think it's only the vagina.
Oh, wow, this is new information.
And yeah, it's crazy. They're like, I'm a virgin, but I've had anal sex.
Because there's going to be some gay men a lot of people in the world who never have sex with a vagina. And so are they virgins?
It would be an interesting conversation to have with people.
I think his son would be a good answer. He'd be a good answer for that.
Okay, we're gonna have to ask Hassan on the road again. Well, I love to masturbate nonstop.
Oh, wow. Nonstop. I love it.
Like, I think about it all the time.
Oh, wow. That's the end of that?
Yeah. It's a confession.
It's kind of fun. It's just like a hobby that you don't need any money or anyone else to do it with. You just need to be alone.
I guess. I mean, if you love it, it's not harming. I mean, as long as you're not, like, calling in sick to masturbate. As long as you're picking up the kids and not, like, masturbating, I think you're okay.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, that actually sounds like a great hobby.
Seems like a sport that you can sport yourself. Like,
everybody needs a hobby. Everyone needs a passion. At least you found yours. I wonder if it'll get boring after a while.
I mean, I doubt it. Sex doesn't seem to get boring for men.
Mm-mm.
I mean, you masturbate, I wonder, 4 times a day?
Wow.
I don't know. I was curious. Is it 4 times a
I love that
day?
she thinks about it all the time. That's so cool.
Like, driving the kids to hockey. I'm going to go home and masturbate tonight.
I wonder how many years she's felt this way.
That's a lot of men, too. I'm going to try to have sex tonight. Think about it. They're, like, driving to hockey and they're like, maybe tonight I'm going to, like, do the nasty.
Hey, I was thinking about sex and masturbating.
Go ahead.
Last night I came across one of my fucking reels, and it was a homeless person. Okay, but let's take away the sadness of this thing. And she came there to work because she would have sex and then she'd get money and then she could go buy heroin. And so I'm like, these men could just go jack off alone, but they're spending their hard-earned money and they're getting close to a dirty heroin addict. It was that worth it to stick it in her dumper or in her hole. Yeah. They could have just done it themselves.
A lot of it's the naughtiness.
Wow.
Like, a lot of it is the not the voyeur, but the act. And I think that's what a lot of people say, because you could say that about sex addicts, about cheating.
Well, that's what I was saying. We're like, oh, why do men want it so bad they could just do it themselves? I'm like, if they're even resorting to sleeping with actually physically dirty heroin addicts, then there is just something about sticking it in that hole. Yeah. That is worth it. Yeah. That is different. That nothing can replace. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
And for some, sadly, it's a fetish. And the sex trade industry is super interesting right now because a lot of people are claiming it and it's empowering. And then for some situations, which sounds like this situation, when you're reliant on it to feed an addiction, that is a power imbalance, which is not healthy and good. And poor sweet soul that's, can't even have a shower, breaks my fucking heart. But yeah, and like that's a multiple of layers on that man that we would have to deep dive on and really talk about.
She does it every day. Someone comes around for it.
Of course. There's a lot of weird shit that people do that is like, oh God, that, you know, in my opinion, and I am judging this person, this man, is, you know, that person needs something. Like, you should give them the money and fucking walk away.
I know.
Like, really, because you're just taking advantage. And that if you get off on taking advantage of females, that's really scary, because what you're willing to do is fucked up. Because if you can't see, if you don't have the empathy enough to see a human in need, and obviously that woman was in need, and you can go and do that to her and rationalize that, fucking piss me off.
And how often that happens is even crazier, that there are tons of men like that.
Yeah, tons of men like that. It actually, like, is hurt. It's fucking heartbreaking. So, and the people who want to do it and are like, and we have talked to multiple people who it's a choice. And, you know, there's actually someone on TikTok who's like really popular on TikTok, and unexpectedly,
is a sex worker.
And bona fide, like, she's like, and she didn't say it for years. Like, she has, I don't know, like 4 million, 5 million followers, and she's a vlogger, and like cute, and no one expected it. And she's like, does she ever actually meet up? Like, does she ever do sex, like, in person as a sex worker, or she didn't go that far. Yeah. She said she basically had to turn off the comments. The internet went wild because they had an expectation of her.
She was so nonchalant about the whole thing. She's like, wow, you guys really think it's crazy I'm a sex worker? Come follow me, a day in the life of a sex worker.
And she can't usually talk about it on TikTok because they shut it down so quickly. So you can't mention OnlyFans or like any, and a lot of people are saying OnlyFans because you can do whatever you want on there. And she, I think, has full nudes and like has sex with herself over there. I think that a lot of people, I guess you're signing up to, and she's empowered by it. I make a lot of fucking money doing this, and I love doing it. So she, I mean, she's like, I'm going to masturbate on OnlyFans. Oh my God, that girl should go do it who loves it. Maybe she doesn't want to show everyone, but I mean, like, you have to show
make some money with your hobby, with your passion for life.
Well, basically, this girl makes a ton of money.
You know what's crazy too? That girl who is a sex worker, she's really young. I wonder, like, so we say, okay, she's empowered by it. She makes money. She has a career. She does all of this. Like, what if it was your daughter?
I think I'd have to support her. Like, if my daughter is owning it, okay? Like, owning it. Because she does videos with her dad and mom and stuff. And, like, I mean, like, I think I'd have to be like, good for you. Like, are you happy? Good. Like, if this is something that, because if we can be sex positive, then we can really be like, you know, like, who am I to say that what you're doing is wrong? Like, people went to the zoo and watched gorillas have cunnilingus.
They didn't mean to. There were children there. But I watched it online.
I'm just saying, if the gorillas are doing it, then it's, like, natural.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We actually know someone who does it, and you don't. And
sorry, did you just look at me and say, we know someone who doesn't, but you don't?
I meant we being my family.
What?
I told you about her. It's not a family member.
Is it still?
Does she still do it? Yeah, that's her career.
So OnlyFans.
I'll tell you after. But she's really successful, and she also isn't like, she's like an introvert. She doesn't go out much.
Yeah.
So she stays inside a lot, and this is just her job.
Wow.
I know, and you know what she's really into, and she gets a lot of like followers or subscribers, is the like Comic-Con stuff.
She dresses up like fucking characters.
What they're called, yeah.
Wow.
And she's a hottie.
Listen, power fucking to you is all I have to say. Power to you. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come right back. As a single, mature woman that enjoys sex with random men off dating sites for that purpose.
I just got so excited. Hold on. Okay.
To play it safe, my BFF knows where I am going and always texts me on my way back home. She always has a million questions and zero judgments, makes for a great conversation over a few drinks.
Oh, God, I want a best friend like that. You know, I have a friend, and she's newly single.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
dying for her to go and try the horses out or the cars or the dick. I just
want to sit over a cocktail, and I want to hear the stories. And unfortunately, I don't actually think that I'm going to get a lot from this one.
She's going to fall in love right away and be in a long-term relationship, and it's going to be really reasonable, and it's going to be really great, and they're going to go for picnics and walks.
And she's going to get everything that she needs in life. It's going to be great. But there's another person that I was speaking with who is seeing her future as a single person, and she said, don't worry, Natalie. I will go get the stories for you. I'm like, I can't wait.
I can't wait to find out who that is. That sounds just like the juiciest.
That's what I would live for. I don't have anyone out there sleeping with single men. And by the way, if I end up a widow cat or whatever happens, I'll obviously let you know where I am. And I'll come and tell you.
I will life 360 you, or I will find
That's
friends
a good
you.
one.
I will definitely find where you are, and I will pull you by your hair out of shitty situations.
Thank you.
And I won't let you get too drunk before you go and make a bad decision. You'll have to send me a photo.
Okay.
Like, you'll have to agree before you get drunk.
Okay.
And then you can get drunk and do what you want.
Okay.
But I need your consent before you get into a few cocktails. Okay? And
You're
you can't get so drunk that you don't remember.
Okay, what if I'm 80? Still
Oh,
fun?
fucking, you can do everything. You can do a Molly and go crazy.
Oh my God, I will. MDMA all the way, baby.
Oh, fuck, I love you. I love kinky sex. When 50 Shades of Grey came out, sex was amazing. I had all the toys, nipple clamps, handcuffs, blindfolds. I loved having my hair pulled and my ass slapped. Curious why it's all past tense.
I agree.
Loved, did...
Yeah.
I love, but she loves kinky sex. Did it end because it was not like
50 Shades of when? Just so you guys know, 50 Shades Grey came out, and then their genius marketers made a whole line of sex toys and sex everything that's called 50 Shades. So it kind of sounds like maybe when that came out, she bought all the line of sex toys.
Yeah.
From them.
Oh, and then they just stopped. Well, you know, the problem with that, there was a problem with that movie too, just so we all are very aware of that.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that a lot of people came out and said that this is promoting abusive relationships, and this actually isn't what. Oh, Chi-Chi. This isn't actually what. This isn't how it actually works. This isn't this world. And if she says no, he doesn't keep going. Like, it's not just like, I'm gonna swoop you up and fuck you, and you know, it was like it kind of came on quick and ended. Like, it was the right time. But this day and age, I don't think it would fly the same way. I don't think the movie. It would have to change its narrative. She would probably have to be the lead.
For
sure. He would have to be.
Yeah.
Could you ever be the dominant?
Out. No.
Okay. You could never get a gag ball chain.
No.
Me neither, just in case you were wondering. I'd actually hate that. Maybe, though, if, you know, someone said you have to.
I would do anything for $1 million. But no, I don't. That wouldn't turn me on to be like dominating a man. I want the man to dominate.
Ooh. I had another one. She doesn't love oral sex because her man doesn't have teeth. I thought that would make it better. Do you think
Is there anything more to that?
Well, there is, but yeah, there is. Also, she doesn't like kissing him because he has no teeth.
Yeah, wouldn't teeth just get in the way? I think that's a man's dream, a toothless wonder. We know
Wait, a man's dream, or no? Oh, right.
We know someone whose mom takes out her teeth and gives blowjobs, and it's amazing.
We do.
We do. Wait, hold on. So, because he has
and
no teeth.
She let us know. Oh, I sucked so much dick last night. I took out my dentures and I went to town. And we just met them, and we were like this.
Mom.
We were like this. Wow.
Yeah. Can you finish that confession?
No, I can't feel a bit bad. Because the teeth he had were rotten. So he...
See, that makes more sense for the kissing. If there's no teeth, or the cunnilingus with no teeth, I mean, listen...
because it's not his fault. I feel a bit bad for him, you know? Because healthcare sucks sometimes where you live.
I think you need to get a plier and ask someone to pull out those rotten teeth before you get even worse.
By the way, my brother did that. Pulled out his own tooth. Yep.
I see that for him.
He did.
It's so expensive.
He's like, I'm not going to pay... Yeah, he's like, I'm not... Even though we live in Canada, I'm pretty sure... No, maybe we don't have dental insurance.
We don't. Hey, I texted you one. It's a long story. I don't know what it was.
Sorry.
But it's on your text.
I'm going to get right to
it.
And I
didn't write it.
Okay, yeah, right. Okay. Already sent beer cooler at bar 1. So here we are, another awkward one. My friend and I were 18 in Wildwood, New Jersey, and we saw this guy every day. Hot as hell. And always had this huge bulge in his pants. Huge. Double huge.
She said that?
Yeah. So we gave him a name. We called him Big Ball Louie.
God, if I saw a big bulge, I would hope it's not the bulge.
No, Big Ball. Oh, right. Okay. Well, as per usual, I got a little drunk and he had been hitting on me for a few days, so I went with it. We spent 1 week together and finally did the deed. He took off his pants and it was not big balls. It was not big balls. The thing was so wide and so big, so the dick was big, not the balls. I was so scared, so I kind of stopped. Next night, he asked for a blowjob. Seriously? I told him no way. That was not going to fit in my mouth. So we oiled it up good, and damn, I was shocked after trying to get it in for a few minutes. I finally did. So it went into her vagina, not into her mouth. Hurt like a mother effer, but he was so nice, I just put up with it. I spent 2 weeks with him after, man. I was perfecting my act and icing my puss. I added icing my puss in for good measure, because I thought...
That does sound like a cat line, icing my puss. Yeah, actually.
I thought I should add
I was like, is she your new best friend? You guys talk the same.
By the way, I'm pretty sure I've iced my puss before.
Yeah, I know I have iced my puss.
Yeah, we both iced our pusses.
Yeah.
God, yeah. Have sex when you're pregnant, you will ice your puss. That's, you know what, fun fact, not everybody, but you can, when you're pregnant.
And you have sex, that thing.
Like a puffer fish.
I couldn't believe it.
Hot?
Yes.
Hot?
I could feel it in between my legs.
Pulsing? It is great.
And they don't care or feel bad, by the way.
Does not come with a warning.
I never, I thought it was the only one.
No, you're not the only one. Like a puffer fish. Like literally instantly. Like you just got stung by a bee in your vagina.
Exactly. I thought it would never go down.
And you're like, oh my God, what is, like you broke me.
Yes. Now my vagina will be stuck this size forever. Puffy as fuck.
And you like couldn't walk.
Nope.
And you lay there and it would sting it like a machete, like
thank you.
Pound,
me as well.
Pounding chicken.
Yeah. It's like
tenderizing, but not tender.
It's like Mike Tyson just had a fight on your vagina. Hold on 1 second with this wide dick. Okay, I don't think I've told you guys this, but normal, good-looking guy, whatever. We always used to flirt.
Wait, I want to take a quick break before you finish the story because I can't wait to hear it. I think it's about a big dick. We'll be right back.
So we'd like made out at bars before. Like we were in one of the same classes.
Okay.
But he was like, it was kind of like, he was a little bit mysterious. We didn't like talk much, but we always like give each other eyes. We'd make out sometimes.
Okay.
So one time we ended up, maybe I had to tell you this, at his place.
Yeah.
And I guess his family lived in some sort of like a warehouse building where like the whole family lived. Like cousins and aunts and uncles and everything.
Okay.
And we went there and he had a really big room. And he had a really big bed, and we were hooking up, but he didn't have heat. And it was the winter.
Wow. And the whole family's in the warehouse.
Yeah.
So you can hear everything because there's not usually like doors and walls and...
It wasn't it was like a... I don't know if they were legally living there. I don't know. Like, I remember passing
Natalie.
by...
God bless Natalie. I want to tell you, if you are borderline a murderer, you have a great chance with her. Like, you could be, like... going to jail, make a stop at her house, and there is a very good chance
I might be turned on.
No, you might be. You would be.
Walking by a room, and it was a small room, and maybe they were all in there because they were cuddling because it was cold, but there was probably like 4 women and like 6 young children in that room.
And you're just having sex upstairs with no heat in some big old room. Sorry.
I thought
How old are you at this time?
Maybe I'm 20.
I wonder where your mom thinks you are right now.
So my mom's at, so it goes on because my mom's out of town. So I go, he's like, I'm like, it's so cold. And he's like, I'm like, do you want to go to my house? So we get into a taxi.
You had sex already once?
No.
You were about to have sex. Like, it's too cold.
Too cold here.
Told you, winter, it's too cold for sex. Yeah. You know what? That is crazy. We're expected to have sex in minus 30 weather. Okay, carry on.
So we get into a taxi and we drive to my house. Again, I don't even know if it was a real home that they lived in or it was just like an abandoned building. But anyways.
Right. So there was probably cameras everywhere and you almost...
I don't know. He had a bed. Like a bed.
Just a bed in a room?
Just not warm sheets though. So yeah, it was kind of just a bed. But it was kind of cool, but I don't think it was a house. So we went back to my house. We went into my cozy bedroom where it was nice and warm and it was heated.
God.
And then we were about to do it. And then when I touched it with my hand.
His dick?
Yeah, and it was so wide.
Wide. Like, not long, wide.
Yeah, like not stubby, but like the proportions.
Like a coffee mug cup.
Yeah, like the widest thing I'd ever...
Like, come on, visual. Like
wide. like wide,
like wide,
and almost like flat and wide.
What?
You know what I mean?
Are
Like,
you sure it wasn't fake? Like, did he put something in his pants?
no, like, you know how penises are round?
Yeah.
This one was like that. Do you see that?
I do. I do.
In my mind, that's what it looked like. So then I was like, well, how the fuck am I going to get that thing in there? You know what I mean?
Have you been dating before? Or you just met
No.
You just met
I'd
this
known
guy?
him for years.
Oh.
We used to flirt and stuff, but now it's like, we're in a bed now. It's nighttime.
So you went to his house, almost had sex. No, let's go to my house. Let's go have sex in a warm place.
Yeah. And then he's like...
You didn't touch it before you got there? Like in the cab? That's so unlike you not to touch a dick in a cab. You know what I mean? That's so unlike
I didn't
you.
start doing that as much until maybe like
21. Oh, right.
Yeah.
So 2 years later, you're like, I'm going to get to the dick in the cab.
Yeah, I just knew it wasn't normal. And so, anyways, then I was like, then we're going to do it. And then he's like, oh, I don't have a condom. And I was like, oh. He's like, I could go get one just like at Choppers. And I was just like, no, I don't think so. In fact, you know what? I think my brother's going to wake up soon. You should probably go.
You got afraid.
Yeah, I told him
It was
to
too
go.
wide.
Yeah.
You're like, get the fuck out of here. You wide, flat penis.
Yeah.
And you never talked to him again.
Like,
I should really ask for a dick pic to follow up with that. I can't believe you didn't see it. I mean, that's a crying shame in my opinion. I'm just saying it's kind of...
I tried to look him up on Facebook, see if he's like married or something. Not on Facebook. I don't know if he's still alive.
Of course you did. Probably 2 weeks ago, too. Like, not like months ago.
I'll tell you his name. Like, you might remember him.
Go ahead.
Not here. I'm not doing that here.
I can't wait to go talk to all... I have a vision of having a show where Natalie and I go and talk to all of her exes. Like, I would love... We could podcast with them anonymously, but this one would be... So you're there, you even go to another house to have sex. So he's like, oh, we are on. I'll get a condom. Actually, I felt your dick. Not happening. It's flat and thick.
Yes. Yeah. Flat and wide.
Flat and wide.
Yeah, his name was Martin. Do you remember?
Mm.
Remember the Spanish crew?
Yeah? Greek or Spanish?
Spanish.
I feel like I made out with one of them.
Probably.
Or the Greek crew for sure.
Well, the Greeks were the Greeks, okay? Those were like...
Oh, wait. Did you say Tommy?
No, I know who Tommy was. Did you kiss him?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Tommy had a girlfriend always.
Oh my
Didn't
God.
he always have a girlfriend?
Yes, he did.
He loved every,
Yeah.
But I feel like...
And there was Mimi.
Yeah. Who were the Spanish?
George. The Spanish was like...
Oh, what was his name? Martin?
Martin.
I don't know.
Greased back hair.
I mean, you're talking like, you sound like the Greeks, right? And all I remember is the Greeks, and they'd all wear the same thing, jean on jean with white shirts. All of them wore jean jackets.
They wore a uniform.
And so, guys, in our high school, before we wrap it up, there was like, you actually had corners on your schoolyard of where you could go. Literally where you could go.
South doors, north doors, South Central.
The block, the wall.
Yeah.
The wall.
The wall, front doors.
There was back alley, gasoline alley, and that's where
alley.
only the mechanics were allowed.
Yeah.
So they were on the trades, and you never went down gasoline alley because you didn't know if you were going to come out.
And there was never any girls down there. And no girls took on
no lights, no windows.
Yeah.
If you went down gasoline alley, you
were
could
gonna
come
get
out pregnant.
Yeah.
Like it was like, don't go down gasoline alley.
You would be catcalled as you walk down there.
Oh.
But the gyms were by there, so like you just
had to go.
You just don't go alone.
You would run. You would fucking run.
Yes.
Right?
Avoid gasoline alley.
And by the way, the teachers were also part of this shenanigan, so it wasn't even like it was so illegal.
Yeah.
It was so illegal.
Yeah.
And then the Greek crew, they would all sit there and they'd have gold chains, white t-shirts, jean jackets, jean pants, tight jeans, and they would sit on this bench all around
Just
all
so you
of
know,
them.
the Greek guys were a lot more social and funny.
They greet everybody.
Yeah, they were really social. The Spanish guys were like to themselves, like they didn't talk to you if you didn't know them.
Okay. And the Greek guys also had slick back hair but curls.
And they all lived on the damn fourth.
All of them. And they all lived them. And they'd greet everyone. But there's just like 3 girls that lived with the Greek crew, and that was their crew.
Yeah, and they're all named like Mimi and George.
Mimi, George.
There was 400.
Mimi, George, and Tommy.
Mimi, George, and Tommy.
That's all of them. And then we all knew them, and you'd go, and then we'd be on the wall, and then the thing.
They were really more like social with like talking to other people. Like in class, they would talk all the time, tell their stories, everything.
Yeah.
Spanish, no. Quiet, cool.
Oh, and that's the one that had the flat dick.
Yeah.
Why?
I feel like I'm saying too much. I said his name, and now I just basically described it.
Lexi can bleep his name.
His name.
Can bleep his name. Because we know.
Yeah.
Say just Spanish guy from high school. I mean, that's a lot of them. There was a lot. Now, I can't even believe we could get away with, like, the Greek crew. Like, everyone's segregated based on, there was the art crew, there was the drama crew.
Hippies.
I was in the hippie crew. You were in the hippie crew.
I was for a bit.
And then you went to the hip hop crew.
Yeah.
The beater. You were a beater. I remember that. Remember that?
I gotta go pick up my
Okay.
kid. Oh my god. Oh my god.